Oh, man, so much to talk about after issue 186.
Oh, man, the Powder Keg. You ain't never lied about that. Lord in heaven.
Dude, this was...
this was a crazy issue, man. Like, halfway through, I'm thinking, all right, this is going to be more or less a filler issue, like bridging the gap before we really get to the meat of what's going on. But nah, won't have filler.
We got
here,
us a
baby.
fat steak on this one.
Yeah, this was all prime rib. Oh, golly, man.
Before we start, obviously, but we definitely want to always give you a warning and give you a chance to get out if you don't want spoilers. But we will be spoiling the crap out of this issue and this comic series. So
we're spoiling all over it
because there's a lot that is. I don't even know. So, yeah, you've been warned, and now it's time to dive into this because, man, they are... I mean, this could be setting up for some Civil War type stuff here, dude.
Yeah, it's a revolution, baby. Revolution.
So, spoiler warning, and from here on out, you're in spoiler territory. So, just getting into this issue, man. All right, so we start off just back in the Commonwealth, and I found the hunting thing to be a bit ridiculous. You know what I mean?
A little pretentious. Yeah, she can't even nail a headshot.
Right?
Man.
Just hits it in the shoulder.
Yeah, Pamela can't even do a headshot.
I'm part of the solution.
Yeah, part of the wasting ammo. That's what you're part of.
When we first come into Eugene and his lover. Yeah, and she's showing him that kind of had a show. Honestly, reminded me almost like an Amanda Waller. Thing when she took her wig off, but we find Dwight is, letting her know that he loves her regardless. Like he's
learning the ropes as it comes to dating a black woman, a beautiful black woman. I dated Jocelyn for quite a while. And let me tell you something. You're getting vigorous and you go to kind of get a little feisty with the hair, yanking it a little bit, man, you're going to get punched in the face. That much. They spend a lot of time and effort on the hair extensions and stuff. So, yeah. Be careful, Eugene. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So what she's learning is that he is happy with who she is as a person. He's not worried about her hair or her skin color or any of that. He likes her. I don't know if can we call it love yet? I mean, I know things move fast in the Walking Dead world, but they really haven't known each other that long, but I guess he's falling in love with her, you know what I mean, for who she is as a person.
I think Eugene's just happy to be with someone who genuinely wants to be with him. It's not another Rosita.
Right,
It's like a pity situation. Well, we've known each other this long.
Right, might as well. Yeah, so it's so and then we move past that, and let's see, where do we go from there? We go from that to Dwight's. Just really, you're really learning Dwight's ready to make this thing happen.
Oh, yeah, man. He is not wasting any time. I mean, he is just... He's tired of the injustice, and I think he's just hungry for a fight, to be honest.
Well, and that gets brought into question, later on in the comic, is are you really trying to save these people, or are you just itching for another fight?
Yeah, I mean, he's a soldier in peacetime, basically, and that can, it's kind of like Rambo. I mean, he didn't know what to do with his life. He came home from Vietnam, and that's kind of where Dwight is. I mean, he's a warrior with no war to fight.
And we see Michonne is just... I don't know. How do you feel, man? I mean, we know that, he was having his conversation. Then you got Rick and Michonne's conversation. Where do you stand on Michonne right now? Do you think that she's gotten too comfortable with her daughter and she's just like, I'm going to make this work regardless of what injustices or what they have because this is very cushy and I have my daughter after so many years of thinking that she was dead?
I mean, I think she wants to avoid the bloodshed. I think that's what it comes down to.
And I mean, it's just crazy that how characters and people change over time. One of the most capable warriors in Rick's group of friends and family, you got Michonne, who is just a beast, and now she's the one saying, "Look, let's not fight. Let's do a different way."
Well, I mean, she's kind of reverted back to post-Walking Dead Michonne, I mean, let's
pre-Walking Dead Michonne?
Pre. It wouldn't be post-Walking
post
Dead.
Would be...
What would that even be? That would be like all the zombies just dropped. And, pre-Walking Dead Michonne.
I think having a taste of civilization kind of brought that back out of her. You know what I mean?
And she's got that option. She hasn't had the option before.
Yeah, she's had to be a savage, and she's had to be this fighter, and pretty much everyone that she encountered was out to get her, so she had to fight. Now she's back to feeling somewhat like she did before the apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really talk things out with the governor or with Negan. I mean, that's for sure.
And I love that she's just like, oh my God, what? With Rick. Like, she's just, it's weird to see these two going at it too. I like when she says, they don't need this, pointing at the gun. I love that frame of her, like, touching Rick's forehead. They need this.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a really cool frame. Like, Michonne, you know, laying the moral directions down. Like, hey, you know, we've spent enough time using that. Let's use this.
Yeah, I think that's really when Rick was like, yeah, you're right. We don't need to, you know, just go at them.
And poor Lodi, she's kind of at the point where, you know, people are like, which side are you on? And
she doesn't even know the storm's coming.
Yeah, she's just kind of like, wait a minute, my mom's back. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I mean, she's just starting to enjoy things. You know, her mom's back. She's moving on up. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
She's got her friends and her mom, and her friends, you know, are like, so which side are you on? And then we move past that to Magna and Heath, and they're having this conversation, and they're, you know, like, she knows something's coming, and, you know, it's good to see some Magna. We haven't seen much of her in the last year or two. That's true. A little bit here and there, but we've not really gotten to spend much time with her, so we kind of get to. Maybe she's becoming, you know, they're bringing her back into like the main fold, because it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm not going to start singing Stained, but
no, well,
and especially with her, especially with her being on the TV show now, I feel like, you know.
Yeah, let's double down on some Magna.
And Vincent, that's what I was trying to think of. That's why I had that moment of silence. I'm like, okay, it's Magna, Heath, and who's the other guy?
Yeah,
Vincent,
I know.
That's the other guy. I wasn't
really
sure
need
of
to
that
get some
name.
more trade paperbacks so I can reread and brush up. There's so many kids, just like the show. There's so many characters.
Oh,
now.
yeah, it's hard to keep up with all, especially the ones that aren't front and center all the time.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
you
you might go like issues and issues, which equals months and months.
Oh, yeah.
Even, you know,
well, especially, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that this character is, you know, you haven't seen him in 13 or 14 issues. That's over a year.
Yeah.
You haven't, you know. But then we get to the part that got me with the hunting party, or the air quotes, the hunting party. Pamela just trying to look like she's a member of the solution, you know. She's like, let me see your weapon.
Yeah.
And then the guy's kissing her ass. He almost has like a Lord Varys look.
He does, man, yeah.
The bald head, he's not quite as thick, but he's just like, excellent choice, Governor.
Mm-hmm. Just word to the wise, you know, center mass doesn't really mean much in the, you know, with zombies.
No, you want to aim for the head. I mean, shooting them like in the shoulders.
It's got like a shotgun. I mean, it's hard to not be, I mean, it's hard to miss your target with a shotgun. I don't know.
Poor Mercer too, man. Just a straight up henchman. You know, she's just like, great shot.
Yeah, well,
thanks. I think of the South Park thing, the episode with the hybrid cars. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't think so.
Oh man, anyone that's seen it will understand. You'll just think I sound flamboyant, but just the thanks. Right. That's kind of how I see like the Pamela in this. He's like, great shot. Well, thank you.
He's basically like that dog that hunters take when they're dove hunting. You know, go and get him, boy.
Oh yeah.
He's basically the dog.
She's like, Mercer, could you please? And then there's just this whole crowd of zombies. Then you find out she actually leaves some zombies alive just to put on this show, but then turns around, as we'll get to here in a few pages, talking about how the people's safety is her first priority.
Yeah, a few
over her image.
Right,
are you kidding that you leave zombies alive near any? That would be my rule for any patrols or sectors that we're keeping. Anything you see, like zombie-wise, you kill it. Like, you know, get it.
I mean, a few issues ago, her son almost got, you know, taken out by some zombies when he was, you know, molesting that girl. Yeah. I mean, those could have been some zombies she told him to leave alive so she could hunt them.
I sounded like a real, like, redneck there. I was like, kill them! Yeah. But, I mean, I would be like, any zombies you see, kill them. I mean, so she doesn't care more about the safety of people as she does just holding her position. And, I mean, Dwight, as we'll get to here in a little bit, man, he hits the nail on the head. These people, like her, they don't care. Her, Negan, they get addicted to power. That's the only thing that they respect or they care about. They don't care about. We learned that Negan does think that he's saving people, but to say that Negan didn't get a little bit addicted to power would be, you know, I mean, Negan liked the power. He liked being the man. So I mean, power and your image, you know. Keep in mind though, sometimes sometimes I really have to draw myself back because I find myself where I'm like, am I comparing show Negan or comic Negan? Because they are a bit different. I mean, they're similar. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan does great, but I mean, there are differences between the two. I mean, comic Negan definitely seemed much more of someone who truly thought through his screwed up means he was saving the world. You know? There was a bit more to comic Negan's philosophy. Yeah, show Negan just seemed more like he thought that, but he also just kind of liked being the man. Yeah, and maybe we'll peel some more layers back with show Negan. And, I hope. Maybe we'll get a little deeper. Yeah. But so, you know, next we have Dwight and Rick talking to Mercer. That's pretty much just where he explains the whole thing about, you know, this is a show she puts on. Right. Act like she's contributing to keeping people safe, which anybody with any common sense would be like, You hit him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
You're not keeping. Then we have the discussion that Lee, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the beginning of the end for someone. Let me just say before I like Dwight's character, man. I have for a while. I mean, I liked him during All Out War once we found out that he was ready to put Negan down. He was playing that double agent. I like Dwight. He's got, I don't know, he's just a character that seems to have some conviction. I mean, I don't know, he's not perfect. He's done bad things, but at the same time, he just, I don't know. I like Dwight.
And Rick's always been able to reason with him, even when they would kind of, butt heads on stuff.
I'm going to disagree with Rick here in a few minutes, too, where he's like, it's the only way I could have done. No. Well, on the cover of this comic, if you got the main cover, Rick jumps in front of Pamela. And I don't think that Dwight would have shot Rick to get to Pamela. So there are other ways you could. That's just like you trying to fight someone and I shoot you in the head. Then I'm like, did you see what you did, Matt?
Well, I mean,
You got him all riled up and I had to kill him. Maybe you could have got between us. But I get it. Dwight had a gun. He was hysterical. He was kind of on the point of breaking, and I think he was kind of having some relapses here with the whole Negan thing, which I imagine did leave him with some, some kind of
like PTSD,
traumatic syndrome. Yeah, I mean, it was. So I get it. So before people jump in the comments, Rick had to shoot him. I get it. I'm joking, but at the same time, I still just want to believe that Rick could have done something more than blow his damn head off. But so we get into it, and I'll never forget the way. Like this is one of those moments in The Walking Dead. Reading the comic, I'll never forget the way my stomach dropped when Michonne said, I hope you don't mind, I invited. And I'm like, oh, my God. No, she didn't, man.
I mean, she should have set up a sit-down with Rick
This
and
is
Pamela.
Rick,
like, talk
man.
to Rick first, yeah.
This is your boy. This is someone you've survived some of the roughest points of your life with, someone that has your back. Rick's not going to betray you. Like, this is Rick. I mean, this is one of your best friends. Like, couldn't you give him that courtesy of, look, here's the deal. I want to talk to you guys first, and then I want to set up for us to talk to Pamela. But no, she is grimy and brings Pamela in without telling Rick. You tell Pamela what's happening, but you don't tell Rick?
Got Pamela just hiding outside the door.
This is kind of reminding me, and I know that people out there that are just going to jump to Michonne's defense. Now, hold on. Remember, Michonne is awesome. I love Michonne, but I am allowed to be mad at her, damn it. I will not apologize for that.
I mean, it's hard not to.
But this is starting to remind me kind of like of a show, Andrea, with the governor thing. And it's funny because we're with another governor. But remember in the show, the whole Andrea, because that didn't happen in the comics. The whole Andrea, like she's on Rick's side, but she's trying to make everybody get along, and by doing that, she's really just pushing the war effort even further. And I feel like that's kind of what we're getting with Michonne here. In her mind, she thinks that she's doing the right thing, and she's trying to be fair and equal to both. But you're not fair and equal when you lie to Rick and Coke. I mean, like that's, and I mean it's Pamela, man, and then Pamela's like straight up, like we're going to arrest Dwight.
Yeah, well, at first it seemed like she was just going to like banish him or whatever, but then he starts talking all that crazy shit, and she's like, nah, we're ready to take him.
And see, that's what Michonne could have avoided all of that just by saying, all right, Rick, here's the deal. I want to talk to you and Dwight. I mean, even more so, she knows, forget Dwight, she could have talked to Rick. Rick, here's the deal. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to Dwight about all of this. I want to see where you guys stand. I have my opinion. I want to hear yours, and then I want us to come to some kind of middle ground, and let's meet with Pamela, and let's work this thing over peacefully.
Talk about reform, yeah.
Not, okay, Pamela, I'm going to meet with Rick and Dwight, and then I want you to wait outside, and when I call you in, what are you doing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and when she's
daughter drunk right now.
Yeah.
Like you have like love drunk and all of that. She's daughter drunk.
I mean, she brought that to Pamela, so she must have divulged everything going on behind the scenes to Pamela before, this whole sit down even happened.
I'm a little mad at Michonne right now. I'm not going to lie. But hey, it's like a family. You get mad at your siblings too, right? But I just did these next few pages are just hard,
They're
man.
difficult, I mean, Dwight's got that gun like point blank in Pamela's face.
Can end it right now.
And he says, I mean, she's dead. We can take over that much easier. The people are behind us. I mean, In your mind, is he getting ready to pull that trigger? Is he ready to pull the trigger? Is that what's
I hate to say it, but yes, I think I want to say I don't want to say he's 100%, but he is talking himself into pulling that trigger. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like he's getting ready to whack her.
But but it's Rick Grimes. I do believe Rick could figure out another way. I guess. But then again, get away from the comics. I mean, just think real life scenarios, though. You don't really have the time to reflect. Hindsight 2020. You don't have the time to.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about like
you have to react.
Rick's police training in that situation where he a policeman, he'd probably
that's a great point. Yeah, he is a trained police officer.
I would think he would probably pull the trigger. I mean you have an unarmed woman, a guy point blank saying he's going to shoot her. I mean,
are you ready for this next page?
Man, I don't know. I don't know that I am.
Oh my gosh, man, poor Dwight, dude.
Did you see it coming? Like I didn't. Like I was pretty blown away when that splash page hit.
No, I saw it coming. I saw. I didn't know necessarily that Rick was going to be the one to do it, but I knew that.
You didn't think Dwight was going to make it out of this?
Now, like I said, I knew he was talking himself into shooting her. I knew that it was going to be him or her at this point. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was really kind of honestly what I was hoping for was like a Rick Michonne show moment where she like whacks him across the back of the head and he just passes out. He had a gun then too, and Michonne. Yeah. I wish Michonne in here would have just punched Dwight in the back of the head, knocked him unconscious.
I was thinking Rick was going to get shot. I thought Rick was going to get in the middle. I mean, much like the cover, and accidentally get shot. And
that's so hard to look at, man. I mean, I know it's because he's got this eye without an eyelid or whatever, but he's got like the tear rolling down his eye. That makes me sad, man. Like, I'm genuinely going to have to turn this page here in a second. I'm getting depressed looking at this.
I mean, look at Rick's face, man. I mean,
he hated to do it.
It broke his heart.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. But, I mean, him and Dwight have been growing apart, too, a lot the last year or so in the comics, which, I mean, as far as issues, I mean, the last year or so, him and Dwight have had several run-ins, where they've
Rick
disagreed.
Accidentally, killing his ex-wife definitely didn't help.
I hate this, man. All right, I'm turning the page. I know people. Yeah. It's just I'm hating because he looks so sad too. It's one thing to get shot in the head, like when Abraham got shot with that arrow. At least in his page, he was still carrying on a conversation. So it's like, oh no, that sucks. Dwight looks like. Almost like regret on his face, like, oh man, I'm sorry. I hate it.
Can you imagine if just out of reflex he had shot Pamela anyway? Like Rick killed him for nothing.
Oh man. Then she's like, thank you, I won't forget this, which reminds me of like the Telltale games. Pamela won't forget this. But yeah, man, that's rough. I don't like that. But then I do like, because I blame Michonne for this. I know people in the comment section are not going to blame her. They're going to be like, people in the comics, comment section will be like, how dare you? No, okay, she made a mistake. I'm not saying this is what she wanted. This isn't what she wanted at all, but she made it happen.
That's a cold statement Rick makes at the end, man. Yep.
Did I? Or did I just join the wrong side of one?
Yeah,
or in one?
The war's coming, and is he on the right side or not? But I think the question we've got to ask ourselves at the end of this issue, did Rick do the right thing? In your mind, did he do the right thing? I mean, this is his boy.
That's a tough question,
he ices
man.
Him,
that's a tough question.
He picks an outsider over his, his first lieutenant, basically. So
yeah, that's a tough question, man. I don't know. Like, as you can obviously tell, I'm not happy that Dwight. I mean, I'm not at all. Now, don't get it wrong.
Rick's not happy.
Yeah, I'm not at all saying Robert Kirkman messed up by killing Dwight, anything like that. But I like Dwight, so I'm pissed that he died. But with that said, this was a very kudos to the writing. Robert Kirkman always just knows how to hit you right in the gut with these. You know what I mean? So. Don't get that twisted up. Whenever you say I'm mad that he died in the context of the story, not in like a writing standpoint. I mean, I get it. He's been around for a while, and you got to keep it fresh. You got to be killing people off and stuff. But poor Dwight, man.
Yeah, man. But and I pondered this heavy last night after I read it. The fundamental question: did Rick do the right thing? That is
the question. Yes.
I think.
Do you think he did? Let's go with you because I'm a little. I'm going to think about it. I want to say ultimately, as much as it pains me to say. Yes, he did the right thing.
I was on the fence. Strategy-wise, maybe not, but fundamentally, yeah, he did the right thing because we're talking about Rick's moral code. We're talking about, like, Sheriff Rick. We're talking about who he is as a person. And at the end of the day, everything else aside, he's watching someone getting ready to murder someone else in cold blood. For Rick Grimes not to stop that by whatever means he had to would have betrayed his character and sent him down a Negan-esque some kind of dirty slope.
Absolutely. No, I agree. That's why I say ultimately, yes. I hate that he killed Dwight, but I do agree that he needed to do it because, like you said it beautifully. I mean, just to add to that on top, it's not like Pamela had this secret plot to kill Dwight, and perhaps Dwight was just getting her before she could get him, or Pamela had him at gunpoint, and Rick still, you know what I mean? Like this, like you said, this is Pamela's not a good person, but this is Dwight talking about just straight up murdering her just to take her spot. I know he thinks he's freeing people, but you're murdering someone who's not attempting to do anything to you. I mean, that you didn't bring on yourself. Ultimately, it's Michonne's fault.
It is.
Because Michonne let them stand outside and they heard Dwight's talking, so they wanted to come to arrest him and banish him and then whatever. But nonetheless, I mean, I agree with you. Rick did what Rick does. He saved someone. He hated it. It's like putting a rabid dog down. It sucks, but you know what I mean? Like you have to do it.
Right. I mean, you can argue whether or not what Dwight was going to do would be for the greater good or not, but at the end of the day, Rick Grimes wouldn't be Rick Grimes
if he didn't do what he did. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. Like I said, ultimately, yes, Rick did the right thing. I just wish Rick could have done something else. Like, I don't know, give him a wet willy or just something to distract him for a second. Like, wee, wee, wee. Dwight's like, what are you doing, Rick? And then Rick takes his gun and is like, Dwight, stand down.
Just pulled like a Star-Lord at the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Just start busting out some sick dance moves, distract him enough. Yeah, but
unfortunately, it's The Walking Dead, and things don't ever really work out that way.
Right.
But
I guess with Rick's bum leg, you really can't bust out those sick dance moves. So.
You can bust out a 9.
Negan. I guess this is Negan's fault because he broke Rick's leg and no dancing.
Yep. And they tried to save it, but Rick, told him to save Negan as opposed to himself first. They were like, we don't reset your leg soon, it's not going to heal properly. And Rick's like, save Negan. And then the leg didn't heal properly, so now he's got a wicked cane. But he needs to eat. I wonder if he should have went and got Ezekiel's cane. He should have asked Michonne, hey, since Ezekiel's dead, I'm crippled. I really
sweet cane, Michonne.
I need a cane. And I'm crippled. I need, so can I have, long story short, can I have Ezekiel's cane? Because I'm crippled and I need something to help me if I was to get cornered, which Rick's still a badass, though. We've seen many times, even with this crippled leg, Rick still is someone you don't want to tango with if you don't have,
And then if you had to ask Michonne that, her, ultimate, burn would have been like, I would, but Rick, it's a left-handed cane. He did lose his left hand.
He lost his right hand.
It's a right hand.
But I knew what you were going with that. Yes, he lost his right hand.
I was trying to think because you see him, he's still a good shot.
I'm pretty sure. I thought, because I remember, well, let me see. Yeah, he lost his right hand.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's a right-handed cane, man.
Yeah, you have to pull that back out.
Always fall flat.
But hey, it's the thought behind them. Yeah. Just like with Rick's situation. Yeah. We're not happy that it happened, but we understand the thought behind it. But so what did you think? You've heard us go on for 20 minutes about what we thought of this issue. It's a big issue, man. I'm really, I don't know. I'm really excited to see and I got that sweet variant. Did you get the Negan variant?
No, I didn't. Get it. I know you're coming close to having the whole collection.
Yes.
Now, right?
If anybody out there wants to sell some, I need Rick, Andrea, Michonne, the Governor. And I think that's it. I think those are the 4 that I need. Rick, Andrea, Michonne, and the Governor. If anybody has those
cough them up.
Those variants, man, I mean, I would be happy to throw you a few bucks for them or the set of those 4. But yeah, I got the Negan. I suppose that's going to be the last one, right? I mean, it probably was celebrating 15 years, so they were doing portrait
Yeah, I think that's
variants.
That's it.
But yeah, big issue, man. Dwight's a big player, and we just lost him, and just like that.
It's crazy, man. I'm on eBay right now trying to see if the Dwight action figures are going up in value any because of him being dead, and no, they're not.
Not yet. But so I don't know. And then when some people are speculating that in the show, Dwight might be coming back in the second half of season 9. So
that'd be nice to see.
It's just a lot happening in the world. Well, one world of Dwight, and then the other one it's kind of ended. But I don't know, man. I'm sad. I like Dwight. I'm not gonna. It's not like he was my favorite by any means, but I like the character.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was a great character, and it's good for Rick to have a foil who's not an enemy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like somebody from inside, kind of
someone who will challenge you sometimes. Yeah, you need that. Everybody needs to be put in check.
Yep.
I mean, you always need that one person that's not afraid to call you out if they don't think you're making the right decision, so that you actually thoroughly think something through before you do it.
That's right.
But yeah, I like Dwight, man. I really hate to see him go, but great issue. I'm really just kind of wondering where this is going to go. So many different directions.
Good, I don't think. I mean, there's a rift between Michonne and Rick that I don't think we've ever really seen a rift between them, have we?
No, we've seen them. I mean, like when she left for a while and she came back, they kind of had a little argument, but it wasn't a bad argument like this. It was just them kind of like, but it wasn't on this level.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Dwight, I miss you, man.
And you got to wonder if Rick's going to end up regretting the decision he
I know
made.
he is.
He's already wondering, did he do the right thing?
Well, he already agrees that Pamela's a piece of shit, essentially, and these people deserve better, and she needs to be removed. But I think, like you said, Rick, just the thought of murdering someone in cold blood's not the way. Maybe you stage an election, you know what I mean? Like he's thinking more of like a logical way to do this without, just murdering people, because that's what they've done in the past.
Now that we've laid down all of our thoughtful, in-depth analysis, I want to say that I think one thing that may have tipped the scale on whether Rick was going to do it or not, shooting Dwight, at the end of the day, we know he wants to get that Pamela butt, that good governance butt, and I think he's like, well, she's not a great leader, but if Dwight kills her, I'm not going to be getting any of that. I think that, let's be honest, I think that influenced his decision. Hasn't got any butts since Andrea died. I think if Andrea had been in that room right then and there, it would have been a little bit. Yeah, I'm just saying. I think we can't count out that weighed in on his decision. And hopefully we'll see that soon.
Number one, I think you just couldn't get through a podcast without saying the word "but" or the phrase "get that butt."
No.
Number two, Andrea was in that room. She'd be a walker. So,
no, I'm saying if she was still alive,
Oh, you think he would have just let Dwight ice her?
Maybe. I'm just saying he knows he's going to, get some butt after it's all said and done.
I don't think Rick finds Pamela that attractive.
Dude, get out of here, brother. He's met his twisted mirror universe, image of himself in this leader Pamela, and they also have naughty bits that fit together. So, yeah, man, I think
naughty bits that fit together.
Yeah.
When you have children, is that how you're going to explain the birds and the bees?
Probably.
Now, children, when a man and a woman love each other, they put their naughty bits together because they fit.
And not that Anyway, I'm not going to get into other stuff, but he's going to get into that Pamela butt. And he's going to be glad he did.
You think he's going to the butt, or is that a phrase for just regular sex? Or are you talking about like some straight butt sex?
Are we talking about either or, brother?
All right, so wrapping this up, we appreciate you listening so much. Do we rate the comics, don't we? I think we do.
Man, they've all been fives for me so far.
I give it a good 4.5. It's a great issue, man.
Because it's hard to say, because a lot of times you will get a slower issue, but if you read them all together, you realize we're getting tiny little slivers of such a big story. So,
and it is different. I remember up until like issue 140 or 50 or maybe even 160 something. I'm terrible at remembering numbers because we're only like issue in the 180s, but maybe it's like issue 150 something, or 60 or 70. I don't know. But I hadn't been reading the Walking Dead comic to comic monthly issues, but just for the last 2-3 years. Before that, I was basically doing like some people do on Netflix. I was waiting for it to all come out in that hardcover book, which JP's borrowing a few of them now to get reread on the Whisperer thing. Try to stay fresh on that for the show. But I was reading them like that, so it did suck to wait a whole year. But man, when you got through the end of the year and you got that hardcover book and you just spent like an hour or two and just read through this whole chapter, it was awesome. Like even the slow comics didn't feel slow because then you were going right into the result of that slow comic. And it's kind of like the show. People I talk to that watch the show episode to episode the last season or two, I'm not talking about the new one, but the last season or two that were considered a little bit slower at points. People that watch it episode to episode will say, "Oh man, I like it. It's just kind of slow."
Yeah, binging
needs to pick it up.
Different experience.
But our buddy like Aaron, who binges it at the end of every year when it comes out, basically right before the new season, he was like, "I don't know. I love the last 2 seasons." So it's different. It's a different experience when you binge compared to.
To be fair, our friend Aaron does have horrible taste in movies and television.
He really does. He really does. But he's not the only one that's told me that, though.
Yeah,
but
no, you're right. I do agree with the sentiment. But
he thought The 100 was an amazing show.
Yeah, and he hates "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." We're talking about like a huge fan of country music. Anyway, enough shade throwing on Aaron. Who
and if you like the 100, I'm sorry, I just could not get into that show. I tried. It's a CW show. It's a bunch of kids go back to Earth, and I only got 2 or 3 episodes in. Just wasn't for me. But to each their own.
I very rarely give the benefit of the doubt. I was surprised how much I like The Flash.
Yeah. I need to start that new season, but
yeah, same here.
So yeah, leave us your thoughts in the comments section. We'll have we will definitely have. It's going to be a day late, but we will have a mail call podcast tomorrow. For those of you that listen regularly, obviously we answer questions. So if you have a question, try to find last week's mail call podcast, leave it there, or you can leave it in this comment section. We might be able to get to it. But what did you think of the issue? Did Rick do the right thing? Did Michonne do the right? We both agree Michonne did the wrong thing. If you think she did the right thing, tell us why you think she did the right thing. Maybe we'll revisit it.
And if you can Rick convince gonna smash Pamela? All answers we need questioned. All questions we need answered. And everything else.
He's got the little hook.
Oh,
Can you
man.
imagine he needs to take that off beforehand? I mean,
I have a friend with a prosthetic leg. Well, it's not even a prosthetic leg. His foot is where his knee should be, and he has a brace that gets to the floor. And, before he, does stuff, he takes it off.
Really?
I guess that's a little different, but yeah.
Huh. So, I don't know. But anyway, let us know your thoughts. You can tell towards the end, what's so serious while we're talking about the comic, and then towards the end, it's all about butt and sex and prosthetic limbs. But let us know what you think. Again, did Michonne make the right or wrong decision? Do you think Rick made the right or wrong decision? Are you going to miss Dwight, or did you think Dwight sucked and you're just glad to see him gone? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. Can't wait to see him. Can't wait to discuss them. Maybe we get enough thoughts, we'll do a revisiting of this. We did that with the last episode of The Walking Dead. A
lot going on with the comic right now.
So, and also a suggestion. If you didn't pick it up yesterday, you should try the new Image title, Freeze.
Oh, okay.
And The Warning. The Warning came out last week, I think, but Freeze came out this week. Both really good Image titles. I love Image so much. Right now, they are my favorite comic publisher at the moment. I mean, everything that I read by Image, I love. Not everything by Marvel, I love. Some of it I just like. The Flash from DC. I've just gotten bored with it, but I'm this far into it. I hate to drop it. Drop the title.
Well, Image is so fresh. Right. You gotta love Image. It's definitely the better of all the publishing houses right now. I mean, I'm a hardcore Marvel guy. Like the bulk of my pull list is from Marvel, but Image is far more hits than misses.
Yep. But check those out. And if you've made it this far, maybe you don't hate us too bad. So how about do us a favor and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell beside it. It'll let you know when we post new videos and stuff like that.
Yep.
I got a lot on my mind and a lot to do for work, so I need to quit screwing around and get back to work.
Me too.
We'll catch you tomorrow for the Mail Call Podcast. I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.
Get that butt, Rick.